Let's see how well the commission actually knows the law, okay? Underneath Section 64, they're supposed to take every piece of information and they're supposed to make a decision on it right away. Right away. Okay? So, Dustin's chiropractor just sent in another report. And that report backs up the fact that any little thing, any little twinge with the injury that he has can put him off work. So that means that Dustin has to be very careful. And there's things that he should not do, which he's been doing because he doesn't want to end up off work. You see? But his chiropractor tried to tell them all this. His physiotherapist tried to tell them all this. Back last year in December, it started. So it's been a year. And they didn't listen. So yeah, in May, Dustin ended up off work, just as predicted by medical professionals. So when I was telling them that, I wasn't calling their, they shouldn't have called my bluff. They should be listening, but they're not. Underneath Section 19.4 and EL01 exceptional circumstances, they're supposed to listen to what could happen if they follow through with not compensating him financially as well. Well, they've been recently presented with proof of how that lack of legal compensation has caused us financial harm. It was proven that it caused us financial harm. They were warned it was going to cause us financial harm. They called our bluff, and it happened. And yet here's your people on there going, oh yeah, they're competent. They know their jobs. No, they don't. They don't. They really don't. They don't know how to use Section 64 when they get new information. They don't know how to use Section 19.4 when they have to use all of the facts. Every single one of them. Every single time they get new information. They can't just go, oh, we're going to base our decision on that. No. Section 19.4 says they have to use all of the facts. Section 80-2 says they have to use consideration before they use Section 80-8, the maximum compensable. They haven't done that either. Section 74, Section 76, Section 55, which shows that they need an application for loss of earnings, but yet that application has never happened. It doesn't exist. Section 56 says it's only the injury employer who reports the injury, not the injured worker. And yet, here's the injury employer reporting the injury, and then the injured worker reports an injury that doesn't happen for every single time that the injured worker ends up off work as a result of that injury, which is proven by medical documents that they're just supposed to weigh under Section 64 the minute that they get them. Then there's, Section 19.1G, which is the existence of dependency. They don't talk to anyone about their existence of dependency, or they didn't talk to us anyway. That I can guarantee you. They did not have a conversation with Dustin about the existence of dependency on our income. And they also didn't have a talk with any of Dustin's medical professionals about the existence of dependency that he needed under supportive care instead of acute care for his injury and to avoid reoccurrences from happening. So, when I say that they're incompetent, I mean it. I've got facts to back it up. And I've got facts to back up everything that I say. The reality is that when they're asked to back up facts, people like Charmaine Janes tends to send out these ridiculous papers. And on those papers, there's things like Section 20-1 that has not had any legal force for many, many years now. And then she uses Section 70-1, which doesn't exist at all. I don't know if it ever has, because it's Section 70, and it's called Continuing the Household, I believe, which has absolutely nothing to do with our current situation, because there's no one dead. He didn't die, so they don't need to weigh that under the section, because that seems to be for only people who died on the job, whether or not the commission is going to continue the household or not. So yeah, for Kimberly Janes White, you really don't know what you're talking about when you're supporting her. Okay? It just is what it is. And if you didn't want to be called out, maybe you shouldn't have picked up for her without actual facts either. And I'd like to add that in order for Section 70 to be applied, Section 65 has to be applied first. And that is where a fatal injury occurred. So, how did Charmaine Janes come to use reviewing Section 70 if there was no fatal accident? Would Miss Kimberly Janes White like to respond in a video and get the response from Charmaine Janes and just let every one of us know what it was? Would she? How does a fatal accident and Section 70 apply when the injured worker, like my husband, has not had a fatal accident at work? But yet, she got on here and decided to tell me how competent Charmaine was. Come on, Kimberly. Let's have it. Bring it on. Come on, bring it on. Let's hear how Section 70 applies to someone who's never been in a fatal accident that caused injury at work. That's been in a fatal accident at work and needed the household to be continued. I bet you we won't see your brave little face making that video now, will we? But you were some brave with your comments. Some brave with them. But you won't get on here and explain to all of us how Charmaine managed to use Section 70-1 that doesn't exist. Or even explain that she meant to use Section 70, which doesn't apply because Section 65 doesn't apply. But yet she's so competent and you're so, sure she's competent. Come on. Are you up for the challenge?